still a very snitches get stitches attitude in my neighborhood.
You do.
You know, I mean...
Hey, you guys can...
But also the fact that
scoot in
everybody
here.
who actually, like, everyone who's been to your house, like, loves the cat. So it's not like anyone's gonna call and be like, tell, because everyone falls in love with the boys anyway.
You'd have to be a real piece of shit neighbor for that.
Right.
Which I'm sure you have, piece of shit neighbor.
Hi, everybody on the stream. I'm off.
Welcome back to the final Sekiro.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think it will be. I think this is going to be the final one.
So how many... Yeah, you want to come here, buddy? Come on, Link.
Can you go up there?
Link.
You want me to stream?
Link.
Go get
Come here, buddy.
Go get Alex Link.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
And our dog makes its debut on the
Hey, put your head over.
There you go.
There you go. Making a cameo. All right.
I think this is one of the only video games that has a kid get stabbed.
Yeah, we should have more of that.
Yeah. They need to follow suit with Arcane. Have them like get blown up and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Kid stabbing.
Bomb more.
I didn't even
children.
point out to Adam what shirt I was wearing. And I wear it just to freak him out too.
I feel like it's hilarious that he doesn't like that movie.
Well, he has never experienced art that is weird in his life, and then we got him ripped. And then that was the first like weird art experience he had. So I mean I get it. I do get it.
You make him watch Forbidden Planet.
Oh, Fantastic Planet? I'm going to. I'm gonna make him watch Fantastic Planet.
Fantastic
Planet. Because that's a crazy movie.
That is so
that's one of my favorite films.
God,
one of my
so
favorite
bizarre.
films. One of the only French things I could tolerate too.
French cinema, man.
Yeah, for the most part, no.
But that movie's good.
That's a great film. Well, it's an analog for the Soviet occupation of Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah. That's what that movie's actually about.
I thought it was much more about like psychology and like.
I mean, I do think it's about that too.
And stuff like that, but.
It's also loosely based off of the teachings of Immanuel Kant, as well as
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to cut
Your whole kind of like German existentialism.
They didn't touch your pocket.
That's some depressing philosophy. And I don't know if a German person ever said anything positive about the nature of reality before, even one time. It's like at least when Asian people do philosophy and they say like life is suffering and stuff like that, it make it sound nice. But German people, it's like reading a washing machine instruction manual, telling you how like your life is meaningless and we're all gonna die and it means nothing.
Yeah, it's the Germans get dark, man.
Yeah, they're not smiley people.
They do have that in common with Russians, because
Also, Alex, this is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
This guy's sword
shit.
opens a gateway to the underworld.
It's literally named the gate.
His bow is dope. Big old recurve.
And this was earlier in the game. This is the boss I had the hardest time with.
Okay, you're fighting him again.
Well, so I just beat him.
Okay.
And beating him is stage 1 of a 4-stage boss here, but he is only the first part.
Okay. Oh man, I still haven't made you watch Centaur World yet.
What?
I haven't made you watch Centaur World. Centaur World, yeah.
Well, depending on how long this takes, we probably have time.
I'm gonna make you watch Centaur World.
Is this on Netflix?
Yeah.
You see that arm just come out of the wound?
Nice. Oh.
Literally crawls out of the gates, the depths of hell.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so you guys already beat that one guy? That first dude?
We only have one. Oh, you mean the guy I just fought?
Yeah, the guy
that guy is part 1 of this 4-phase fight. So every time you lose, you have to go back and do that other guy again, too.
Swords. Now, just always pay attention to how his sword strokes work. Because it's like, they actually had master swordsmen in there doing the motion caption for this.
Which is fucking badass.
Shit. Because a lot of games, they're just like, what sword slashes look coolest?
Right.
There is no greater, like, swordsman tradition than samurai.
Oh, I wasted that.
You're on safety.
Yeah, it's not easy to.
Oh shit! God damn it! I didn't realize that was Big Cliff.
Oh, at least that doesn't just permanently kill you.
No, it just takes a chunk of health and resets you.
Yeah, it's hard to even lay a finger on him.
Oh, you're so gentle. No.
Definitely weakest when he makes that big attack. And makes the 2 slashes.
Come on. Your combo.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's health bar 1.
That's more on the up.
Now he's got the spear on top, and in addition to the
Not a
sword,
spear,
and a gun.
That's a Naginta.
Well, whatever.
Tolerated so much.
I am too focused on not dying to pay attention.
Fair enough.
But it's called a Naginta?
Yeah.
It's like a sword on the
It's a
end
cool
of the
weapon.
spear, basically. It's pretty dope. That way it's not worthless as a slashing weapon like most spears.
That would almost be like a...
Funkatron, hello.
Like an
Oh, we just got a raid.
Oh, you better take some health, Sage.
Oh, yeah, shit. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I am sorry I'm concentrating really hard because this is a very tough game, so I will either die and take a second to say hello in a moment or beat it and say hello in a moment. Either way. Ooh, we got it.
Funkatron, full support. I like that.
That's a great name, too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you were doing well. What were you streaming today? I'm curious.
Ooh. Woo.
No, you got this, dude. Come on.
Let's go!
Now, the Mikiri counter was also based off of an actual martial art move used by monks specifically in Shaolin and Shinto monasteries.
That's pretty great.
Because they would use blunt weapons or hooked weapons to lower the weapon down to the ground and prevent thrusting. And then they would step on it, pulling it out of their opponent's hand.
You ever seen that crazy headhunter weapon that the Shaolin monks had? Where it was like a metal ring that would decapitate somebody, so they would throw it over, like as a horse rider would ride by, they'd throw it over their head and just snap their head off.
Right. Yeah, there was a surprising amount of war between certain factions in monastery, even for the same religion.
Yeah. Got me.
Like at one point, they ransacked and destroyed one of the leaders of
That's one attempt
at the time, but it was a different sect of Buddha.
Okay.
And they were trying to throw his body in the river, so that the fucking because river is seen as like the journey of life, and they wanted to get them the fuck out of there because, like, get rid of all memory, all texts and shit.
That was
and
the
let
single most severe punishment in Rome.
Yeah, some of those, that whole concept of like erasing someone from history was the worst thing most societies consider that you can do to somebody is just erase their
Come
entire
on, I hit
legacy.
that button.
I know one of the most interesting things that I've learned about how Oda Nobunaga, how he united Japan under the first shogunate. And like the last thing he had to do was just destroy like the monasteries that had the warrior monks in Japan. Like after he conquered all the other armies, he went and just had them slaughtered because they were such a major political force in Japan.
Right.
So like he couldn't run the country without destroying the monasteries first. That's how powerful the monasteries were in Japan.
Yeah. I mean, that's the cycle of history, isn't it? Whatever came before, just getting buried under whatever's next.
You gotta suck, though. Just be like building up your military defensive abilities because you keep getting picked on by anyone who's just like, look at those monks, let's just fuck them up.
Yeah.
And then you get so good at defending yourself that somebody's like, oh, I gotta kill all these people. They're way too good at defending themselves.
Well, I mean, most of the world's major religions have like militarized ranks at some point.
We've been
Crusaders.
Been a while since I've been doing good, just been very busy. Ooh, yeah, see, kicking in the head like that. Hey! Yeah, Tim's on one stream and Alex is on another stream. And,
yeah, this is a unique stream.
Yeah, we don't usually have the Tim and Alex
We're
on the same one.
double teaming him.
Oh my
Double
God.
teaming
Go
the double
home.
stream.
Go home. Out me house.
Wasn't there a Dennis Rodman movie called Double Team?
Probably.
Oh, he really just don't remember that movie.
Was he married to Madonna, or were they just dating at one point?
You know, I don't know.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, Sword Saints could actually channel the elemental winds around them and do... No.
I'll have you know that I'm a master sword fighter.
Are you?
Yeah.
What, penis fencing?
That's what we're talking about.
Damn it, give me some space here. Okay.
Now, do you know the period of which Nobunaga...
And so the
shit.
Shogunate was like the 1300s all the way up until like Matthew Perry, not from Friends, the American the American
No, I thought it was.
the American admiral sailed his ships into Tokyo Harbor and basically forced Japan to open up for trade. Like, literally just pulled up and was like, listen, we can just, like, we have cannons, we can shell your entire city into oblivion, so you're going to trade with us, you can't have a closed society anymore. And then that's when the Shogunate collapsed and the emperor was restored, and that was, like, the mid-1800s or something like that.
Super sleepy, time to go to bed. Enjoy the stream. Hey, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
God damn it, I did the same thing.
During the Shogun period, for sure.
And they actually, avid fans of this game and its lore were able to pinpoint that there was an actual historical figure that Ishin Ashina is actually based off of.
Oh, cool.
It was like an actual incredibly good swordsman that was that fought like a really bloody war to free his country and like make life there better. And it worked for like 20 years, and then the country fell into the same, if not worse, kind of strife, which is exactly what happens to the land of Ashina. Ishin Ashina frees them from the control of like the governing areas around them.
Okay.
And but the blood of the dragon makes those who are imbibing it, or even just imbibing the rejuvenating waters that the dragon resides within, they become corrupted or obsessed with the way of the Undying, which is a corrupted form of the Buddhist religion.
Okay.
And so Sekiro practices Buddhism in the way that he, like, all those sculptures and stuff, they're statues of Buddha.
Oh, okay.
And, like, the master carver who made the prosthetic.
Who was also the demon that we fought, that he had turned into that.
Yeah, he had his arm cut off by Ishin Ashina, who wanted to spare his life. And the demons of hatred are spawned by people who only want and crave bloodshed. Eventually they become a demon that embodies conflict and war. And so he's actually, like, until he becomes a boss, is hinted at being, like a potential demon.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Those Japanese cats.
Right, they are, yeah.
I don't know, I toured Osaka Castle when I was in Japan.
God, that's cool.
It's super, they're so dope. They're very cool. So.
I can only imagine that sounds really fucking cool.
Going to Japan was definitely my favorite thing I've ever done, I think.
Yeah, I forget. I was doing some research into this game, and I stumbled across like Hayao Miyazaki's kind of distaste of Western culture.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, what do you mean occupation of Japan? Yeah, I didn't realize we occupied Japan for like 7 years after the end of World War II. And essentially instilled American culture into their youth.
Yeah, I mean, my grandpa, he turned 18 right after World War II, and he joined the army. And that's what he did, was he was in Japan for the occupation. Then he ended up in Germany after that. But, yeah, we straight up, we wrote their constitution. Like, we built their entire society, demilitarized it. It's crazy. They'll find like some of the most valuable swords in Japanese history in the U.S. because we confiscated all of the swords in Japan and then let U.S. soldiers take them home as like war trophies. Christ. So they'll find some of the most valuable and important swords in Japanese history, just like random basement in Iowa or something like that.
Which, I know they weren't exactly the friendliest of societies before, but also, erasing that much history from a country.
Right. Well, I mean, Japan had the very bad luck of literally being a medieval society and then suddenly brought into the modern age. And their sensibilities of warfare were just totally different from ours because they'd been a closed society. They were a straight-up medieval society when the U.S. forced them to open back up. So, the U.S., or maybe not so much the U.S., but, Western countries, that had the same kind of technology and feudal system and everything that the Japanese did, 200 years before, they fought war like the Japanese did, intimidation, cutting people's heads off, stuff like that, all that medieval type of stuff. But, I mean, it just was a total culture shock because the Japanese started living in a feudal society, a true warrior feudal society with a noble class and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
One of the most interesting time periods in history, if you ever get a time to learn about it, is to learn about when Japan basically was forced to open up and was this medieval society. They didn't have cannons. They only had the guns that the Portuguese and Dutch traded to them. They didn't have running water. They were still a farming society. You had lords and daimyo and all of these things. And then within the course of 50 years, they created one of the most modern militaries on Earth that fought like major countries to their knees. Like when they beat Russia in the Russo-Japanese War, it was one of the most humiliating moments in world history for Western civilization. Like it caused like an existential crisis in Russia. It's one of the biggest reasons that the Russian Revolution happened. Was, you know, I mean, European people were pretty racist back then. So the idea that well, yeah, but I mean worse than definitely worse.
No, I know.
But they were horrified by the fact that like this non-white country could sink all of Russia's navy. Like they sent the Pacific Fleet in to go defeat the Japanese Navy, and the Japanese sunk the entire Pacific Fleet. So then they had the Atlantic Fleet leave St. Petersburg, sail all the way around Africa, Asia, all that to go fight the Japanese, and the Japanese sank that. And then Russia just had no navy anymore.
God damn.
No, the Japanese, I mean, like, militarily, there was no one like the Japanese. You still had, there were entire units of the Japanese army, like platoons, that didn't surrender until well into the 1950s. And you had individual Japanese soldiers that didn't surrender until the 70s.
Did you know, like, one of the last people to surrender...
Die on the island?
And he's like, his two fellow survivors died under questionable circumstances, so he definitely killed him.
Oh, yeah, shit. I believe that.
I did that.
I know the one thing that he said was he believed that all the newspapers, because they would come... Like, they even sent the Japanese, like, ambassadors in the Philippines and stuff to bring him, like, newspapers because he was killing random Filipino citizens. You know, like, they would walk by and he would just shoot them. And they'd bring him newspapers from Japan talking about, like, how the war was over and just what was going on in Japan then. And he refused to believe it. He said it was Allied propaganda because he was certain that Japan would never surrender. So either Japan was completely destroyed, or the war was still going on, even like 25 years afterwards.
Was this it?
You got it? Oh shit! Nice. Dang man, that didn't take you long at all.
No, 22 minutes.
Nice. Woo. Damn, dude. That was pretty slick. Would you die 3 times?
3 times, yeah, I think.
That's not bad, dude. Not bad at all. To finish out the game.
Yeah, it's a short ass stream today.
Yeah, no kidding.
God damn, that's awesome.
That's crazy, dude.
Oh, and we got his shockwave attack that he was using on us.
Nice.
Many extraordinary foes you can now be faced in memory as a series. Oh, so you can do like boss rush and fight them all in a row.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like, remember those little, those mini dungeons from Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Those helped inform those gauntlet fights. Because nothing else in the FromSoft catalog has those.
Okay, and then... No, I'm trying to remember. I think
Frozen Tears.
I believe so, but I do want to double check.
Definitely make sure you do it right.
Yeah, because I mean, these are all of those apply to completely different endings.
I believe Everblossom is the one where you kill yourself. Dragon Tears, you just like end the curse, but it's like gonna come back. And then Frozen Tears should be the one where you just like, hey dragon, let's go on an adventure! Yeah!
Yep. Yeah, so it's the Divine Dragon Tears and Frozen Tears. Just beat Sekiro.
Nice.
Huzzah.
It's also funny too, because like some of the videos that I've looked up online for like, all right, let me check out some of these videos and just see like, just to make sure, you know, for advice and certain stuff. Did you realize there's an English dub on this game?
That sounds like it would be really weird.
I definitely prefer just subtitles, but
yeah, well, the voice acting's never natural.
It's not universally bad for dubs, but
it's almost
a lot of times. Yeah. Well, Metal Gear Solid's English version is great. It's better. You tend to get better in video games. Yeah, it's a whole different story than anime. Because Japan is making these games for the Western market at the same time. They're not making it for the Eastern market, and then later the Western market is dubbing it for the Western market.
I feel like half video games, anime dubs are done for like no money by awkward fan clubs.
That's what they usually sound like. But when Japanese developers are making games, they're making those games like the Japanese developers are the ones who are handling.
Right.
Yeah. They're working on doing it for both markets at the same time anyway. So like the Japanese people making it are the ones actually in charge of getting the dub done. With the anime, it's usually it's Americans doing it.
It's an after.
Yeah, it's an afterthought. It absolutely is.
Which is surprising because I have to assume anime is making at least as much money outside of Japan as they are inside of Japan at this point.
Oh, I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, anime makes a lot of fucking money in Japan.
Yeah,
but
you gotta keep in mind it's like there's a whole lot more people outside of Japan watching anime at this point, I think, than in Japan.
I don't know about that. It's like the whole population.
Yeah, but there's only like 125 million people in Japan.
Well, that's true, but like, I don't know. I mean, like, their landmark series like Attack on Titan might have crazy high viewership like that, but like anime in general as a whole medium, I don't know if I feel like
I don't know. I do feel like it's very popular in a lot of countries. I know in the Middle East, like, Japanese animation is like all the animation they watch. They don't watch a whole lot of Western animation.
I mean, that makes it seem like that there'd be a sequel. It's like, yeah, let's go where it came from.
Well, and they're essentially escorting the dragon, or like what remains of the dragon, so that he can like... Because at one point, the divine dragon became sick in its homeland, and so they traveled to Japan to the rejuvenating wellspring at the top of the Fountainhead Palace.
Yeah.
And they planted the Everblossom branch there, which grew into its own tree, and the dragon was restored. But its magic didn't blend that well with the magic of the land.
Right.
So it was essentially
it was a corrupted version
of grafting rejection.
It was a skin graft rejection. Skin dragon or dragon graft.
Because like the tree itself got sick, and so the dragon became kind of, because it's inextricably tied to the Ever Blossom tree.
Right. That's wow. Shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's over. So, I mean, I know we have Elden Ring still, but Elden Ring also came out very recently. Up to, 3 years ago, Sekiro now, 4 years ago?
2019?
Yeah, Jesus. So, I mean, that's, outside of what just came out, we have gone through, in about almost exactly 1 year, the entirety.
Yeah.
Of the Souls franchise.
I guess we're leaving out, like, if you count Toki as the progenitor of that.
That's true. But at the same, I think it was a Togi is like, it's like a testing ground almost for it. Like it wasn't quite a Souls game. Like not quite. It was almost there, but it was definitely like the basis for what it became. Yeah, May 1st is our first Demon Souls episode.
Damn.
May 1st.
Wow.
So
yeah, almost exactly 1 year.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
That's awesome, dude.
Alright, well, there's only so much entertainment to be had watching the credits.
True.
Let's see if there's anything else at the end. So by accessing the large sculptors. Yeah, let's do not yet. Not yet. Just hold on. Hold on a second.
Take your horses.
Yeah.
Put them in the barn.
Get your horses together.
And hold them.
Oh, you can. Oh, so there's costumes. There's like a whole. You can.
Oh.
Will allow the wolf to alter his form, though doing so will have no bearing on his ability. Taking charge of another's regret is but a fleeting thing. Change form menu has been unlocked. Gauntlet of Strength has been
actually
unlocked.
add shit for the replayability. They add the Gauntlet of Strength. They add the alternative skins. They
Yeah, that's cool. Like, so what? I mean, what do we even got?
And they also give you an ability at the end.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you're definitely meant to play New Game Plus for these.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's awesome, man. Nice.
That's badass, dude. And I guess I wonder how many of those there are to unlock, because that's probably a big part of the multiple playthroughs.
Yeah.
Wow. And yeah, and then there's... Yeah, look at that. Look how many... There's so many of these.
You can go back and... Wait, are those all... You can choose which ones you fight?
Well, you can do Reflection of Strength, which is individual fights that you go back and do again. Or you can do the Gauntlet of Strength, which was like doing them all in a row. Right? So Gauntlet of Strength is doing all of them. Reflection is picking one at a time.
Incredible. It's like... That's awesome.
Wow. Alright, well... Yeah. Doesn't need to be a very long stream today. We're going to call it, because...
Nice.
We accomplished things.
Yeah, you did.
And you had all the unseen aids you needed.
I got so many unseen aids. But hey, next time we're back, we'll be back with Death's Door. We'll be playing not a Souls game.
Yeah. We have to have a palate cleanser of still a difficult game.
But something else.
But something else.
Something else. Just for a little bit. But, we'll be back on Wednesday.